Welcome back to Condone Yourself. We are here to talk about season 14, episode 6. But let's get into it. So, I'm Joe. We have Kelly.
Hey, everybody.
We have OT.
What's up, people?
All right. So, what we thinking?
Ugh.
Well,
There's a ton to think on this episode. There will be some very unpopular opinions today, and I am completely here for it.
yeah.
Most of them will be mine.
But let's start from the beginning. This was the Glamazon.
One of the things I did want to talk about in the workroom that perturbed me this week was, and let me preface this by saying, I understand, America, that this is a competition. I understand that it's no one's responsibility to do the things I'm about to say. However, it felt really wrong to me that no one helped Willow open her boxes. Everyone, her problems with her hands are well noted. Everyone knows that she has them. And I won't say that people saw her struggling with the boxes because everyone was probably doing their own boxes. But at some point, it had to have crossed someone's mind when Willow started going, hey, can I look through your stuff? What do you have? At some point, could someone have said, oh, do you need help opening your boxes? I forgot that you have problems with your hands. Or I remember now you have problems with your hands. Do you need help opening your boxes? It bothered me so much that no one took a moment to help Willow open those boxes.
Yeah, that, and also they're in a workroom for a sewing challenge. So why wasn't anybody using scissors or like box cut? Like, why did part of the challenge that you had to rip open the boxes with your hands? But if I put my therapy cap on, you need to ask for what you need.
You do.
Yeah,
So
you absolutely
you could
do.
have said to anybody, because nobody would have said no. Just like in Untucked when she asked Bosco to undo her shoes, and it's like, of course, you know.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you know, if you're struggling, like if she could have asked any one of those queens, like that weren't paying attention because they're in their own world, like, can you just open up some of these boxes for me? And they would have done
And
it.
the thing is, Cornbread would have saw that because they're closer.
Yeah.
Well, her
and
and
Cornbread would
Jerry
have
are
just
close.
already said, like, you know, no, I'm helping you, even if Willow protests. Because I feel like Willow is not the person who will ask. Willow is just like, hey, I got it. I'm going to do it. No, I'll figure it out. I'm going to do it. And she's scrappy.
Yep.
That's why we like her. She's a scrappy queen.
Yeah. The other thing that happened, like that was super early on, was Daya saying that she wasn't disappointed last week. Listen, she was not disappointed in an Untucked. Okay.
Delusion.
Like, what are you? We saw it. It's recorded for everyone to see. Like,
Yeah, but she doesn't see it. Well, the problem with Diabetes, and this will be a growing lesson for her when she watches everything back, is the fact that she keeps mentioning, I don't want to be that girl that complains that I'm safe, puts everyone in the mindset that, but you are that girl that's complaining that you're safe. So by saying it, she brings everybody into that mindset, whether she feels it or not. And that's where, like, when you say it, you put it into fruition, boom. But I feel bad for her. I do. I feel the reason I thought Carrie said it beautifully, where she was like, I understand, like, I have no problems with what she said, like Daya or Betical or something like that. But she was like, I get that her frustration is coming from how she is in this competition. And constantly being compared to someone you see, you know, yourself different from. I get that's a frustrating place to be, but she's got to rise above that. If she's gonna do anything, she's got to rise above it.
How does she see herself as different? Like, it blows my mind.
I see her differently. I don't see Crystal Method.
But even after the side by side.
I was just gonna say, did you see the side by side?
Did you see those side by sides? Are you kidding, Joe? Like, I thought for sure this was the week you were going to be like, okay, OT, I get it now. Are you kidding?
Well, this week, okay, fine, yes, but the previous thing, I still, like, I already saw her differently than Crystal Method. I feel like everybody was forcing like Crystal Method on there, so now, okay, I can kind of see.
No one was forcing it; she was giving it.
Okay, okay. I mean, I have a different opinion. I see her in a different lens than Crystal Method.
Okay.
Good, because at this point it's only you and her.
No, I'm sure Crystal Method's like, that's not me.
Yeah, she's definitely not as talented.
Okay, so
she's not as interesting, and she's not as nice.
I wish she could get herself out of the thing and just do what she says she does. Where I think she got that whole baby doll look, she's like, yeah, I'm like grungy, but then now I'm gonna do like a baby doll thing, which is kind of like Crystal. I was like, girl, you're being tricked to getting into what you're trying to stay away from. So just do what you think you do well and keep going.
Yeah. But the thing is, what she thinks she's giving is not what she's giving. What she's giving is Crystal Method. And every week she has given us Crystal Method. This week she changed up her makeup a little. And I thought it pulled me away from Crystal Method, though. For a second week, I felt like, okay, I'm starting to see Diabetti.
Well, and
that outfit was not cute. I'm sorry.
What?
It was ugly.
What?
Are you kidding?
You didn't like her baby doll outfit?
No, I didn't get a baby doll. I don't like baby dolls, so maybe that's it. But that was ugly.
Oh my God.
That was ugly.
America, as I stated, there will be some unpopular opinions this week, and most of them will be mine.
The hair was bad. The makeup was bad. The outfit was bad. She's lucky she's safe.
But what was even uglier than that was the fact that there is no rule that says if one person is doing a baby doll dress that another person can't do a baby doll dress. So her attitude with Willow made me so mad, where she was just like, look, here's what I'm doing, so it's spoken for. It's like, that's not how this works. Right. Everybody can do exactly. She could have done the exact same outfit if she wanted to. Like, there's no rules about it. And the fact that Willow was just kind of like, okay, well, I'll just scrap my idea. I was like, no, you do whatever you want to do. She's like, she literally is not the boss. That was really gross.
I felt like Willow backed away from it, not so much because of Diabetti, but because the one consistent thing that Willow has brought to the runway every week is originality and uniqueness. And to wear something knowing someone else is going to wear it strips away both of those things. And that's the one thing she's brought to the runway every week. So that's why I think Willow backed away from it. I don't think Willow backed away from it because she felt like, oh, Daya is right. Willow was like, I need to do something different and original, which is what she ended up giving us anyway. That's how I felt about it. But I do understand what you're saying, Kelly. I did find it kind of gross is a good word, that she, felt entitled enough to go to her and be like, you can't wear that because I'm married.
I don't think she felt entitled, but I do agree that she is coming off not in the best light.
Not at all.
I agree. I don't think she feels entitled. I think she feels like, great, I'm going to be compared to another person.
Yeah,
a person who's actually winning challenges.
Well, it's, Carrie said it best, and this is a theme that we've been talking about too, which is desperation.
It is. That's it.
That is a theme this season.
So desperate not to be Crystal, so desperate not to be safe, and just like seeping out, and it brings out the worst in people when and I feel like she doesn't even quite realize it. But like you said, when she watches back, I think she might see it.
Yeah, because what she's giving me is Raja season 11.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. and look at Raja. She is beautiful. Come on, Purple Queen.
Yes. We stole our colors from you, Raja.
Yeah.
Call our show. Be on. Before we move into challenge stuff, in the event we were getting there, can we just talk about how fantastic and fun Carrie's confessionals were this episode?
Yeah.
If the whole episode would have just been Carrie talking to the camera, I would have been completely fine with that.
That was in my top 3 for maybe doing my can do moment, because she was, bitch, I failed science.
She was like, and you get that sonic toothbrush, but she scratched it and scratched off the UPC.
You can't return it.
Carrie's been through some things. Carrie's been through some things.
Her confessionals were like, oh, they were delicious.
Either they're just showing more of her, or she's getting funnier showing us more of her funny side every week. But
yes,
because this episode especially, everything that came out of her mouth or that she did was hilarious.
Everything. Those like every time they showed her on the screen, I was happy.
The other thing, small thing that I laughed at. Well, one, I guess we'll talk about a couple things before we get into the challenge. One was speaking of Daya. We'll go back to her for a second. Her being like, "Please give me feedback," and they're like, "Here's the feedback." And then oh shoot,
I wrote that down. Oh my gosh, yes, that was everything. I'll be honest, right? And this is for you, Joe. I defer to Joe a lot because somehow Joe has cracked the Drag Race code and doesn't even know that he has. But like 90% of the things that Joe says behind the scenes and now on the show, they happen. And as Kelly talked about in the beginning of this series, we have been doing this for 7 years now, the three of us watching the show, talking about it. And for 7 years, I have consistently watched Joe be correct and get on my nerves. And so when I was saying for all these weeks that all I see when I see Diabetes is Crystal Method, and Joe's like, I don't see it, I was doubting myself. So thank you, Carson. Thank you, RuPaul, for validating me because I needed that. Thank you.
I mean, again, makeup and all that stuff is not my strong point, you know, and I had a problem with Crystal, even her on her season, until much later. So I got to know the queen more than the facade, or appreciate the queen more than the facade, and then it looks different. Well, I really don't know Diabetes right now, regardless of makeup.
And I think that's where the problem is that here we are still week 6. You know, this is her 5th week in the competition, and we're still seeing something really reminiscent of Crystal Method.
And she keeps saying she's been safe the whole time. I was like, bitch, no, you were home.
You went home. The first episode.
Yeah, that's right.
You went home.
You went home.
You went home. So every day is a good day. Okay?
Yeah, you're back. Right. You get another
day is a happy day.
Honey, because Orion is gone.
Orion is gone. Orion's like, I would love to have been safe.
Gone.
Exactly. Right. Your perspective should be a little bit different right now.
The other thing that I thought was like such a ridiculous thing was, you know, everybody goes up there to say like, here's what I'm working on, and they gave feedback or whatever. And for most people, it was just like small critiques or telling Lady Camden she needs bigger lips and all of that. But then with Carrie, Rue all of a sudden was just like, tell me about your past trauma. And it was just like, like that's so you've just been so like light with all of these other people, and it's just like, let's like, how traumatic was your childhood, basically?
So are we ready to bring it to the runway?
Yes.
When the runway was the challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm fancy.
Was the challenge.
So
we're starting with Lady Camden.
This is where the fights start. Here we go.
We're starting with Lady Camden.
Of course we are.
And I loved Lady Camden's look.
I loved it. What I appreciate, and Bosco did this too, I think there wasn't many queens, but using a lot of queens just like, where's the fabric? Okay, great. I found fabric. Now I will make something out of the fabric.
Make it easy. Make it easy.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, I would do that too, probably, right? Like, it's hard to construct with those other things.
Right.
But she used a pool, like rubber from a kiddie pool, you know? And I don't know. I just really appreciate that. And I thought she looked great. But, you know, I have a crush on Lady Camden now. So,
same.
But I really liked it. OG, you disagree?
I thought her makeup was beautiful. I loved the wings. I thought that bodice gave me Skeletor from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I hated how it looked around the center. It was so hideous to me, that centerpiece. I just kept thinking, where is He-Man and She-Ra? Are they about to fight on the stage? Like,
I think what we're going back to here is we're unpacking some PTSD that you have about Skeletor.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know her, so I don't know what's happening. And plus, I thought that it was the most like fitting when I think of Glamazon Prime.
Anything else on Lady Camden? Because then we can move to the mess that is Jasmine. So,
Girl,
okay,
if that was fashion, I didn't see it. I was like, "Am I dumb here?" Because I thought you could do shit.
I was.
This was your redemption.
Oh
This was
my
your redemption
God.
time.
You've been wanting this challenge, and it looks like you got a penis.
Oh my, yeah. That's exactly. It was so ill
That's a
fitting.
meaty tuck.
It looked like she had a 12-inch dong. Okay,
and
12 inches
balls
long, 12 inches around. It looked enormous. I was like, "What is that?" It was so fitting.
Whoa!
It was so wrong. It was so wrong, and it didn't turn the corner to being right. Makeup I thought was beautiful, but her hair was frizzy. The earrings were a mess. It was messy. Jasmine, like, fail.
I didn't know those were earrings until they called it out. I thought they were just things she put on her shoulder.
They do look like that.
Like those stars. I was like, "Oh, those are earrings." Okay, girl, that's too much.
Yeah.
The thing that was so shady but amazing was Carson being like, "Hats off to you," and so she got all excited. And he's like, "No, just take your hat off." So he gave her like a moment of hope that they were gonna love it, and washed it.
Yeah. And that hat looked like a mushroom, and I love mushrooms, but it didn't look like it matched at all with her outfit because she did the yarn thing. Good idea, I guess, but it did not look at all.
It was so incohesive. It was all over the place. It was not a great look. It was a fail.
Again, the judges give you the answers when they're helping you in the workroom. This happens every season or every episode almost, where when they have the time to chat with the judges, they tell you exactly what they're looking for. And they told her, "It sounds like you have a lot of ideas. Make sure that you like edit it," and still just like,
well, what if that was
that's what I'm saying. What if she did edit it?
Right, I was gonna say, what if that was her version of edit it?
Good
like,
point.
oh my God.
Yeah, Jasmine looked very rough. I was very disappointed. I thought she would at least turn a look, but maybe she don't know what looks are.
Yeah.
Maybe she don't know what looks are.
Diabetes. I loved her look. I know that I am again in the minority here, and I don't care because I already told you, America, that I was not here to play nice today.
I'm not here to make friends.
I'm not here to make friends. This isn't
They're already my friends.
Hospitality race.
Okay. Was she top 3?
Who? Diabetes? No, she was definitely not
top 4.
She was, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I thought that look was 4th place. I thought it was interesting. It was well constructed. It had a point of view. It told a story. It was pretty. It was everything that I wanted that outfit to be. I
didn't get pretty.
Fantastic.
I didn't get pretty.
Well, you don't like baby dolls.
I get that she put a lot of work into it, but we all know just because you put in a lot of work, don't make it beautiful.
But that's not why I'm saying it looked good. I'm saying it looked good because it did.
Okay.
Live your fantasy.
Yeah, it looked good. That outfit was fantastic. I don't remember her hair. Yeah, her
hair was like a big yellow blob of
yeah.
shit.
I don't remember the hair because I was busy checking the outfit and checking her makeup, which I did not really love the makeup, especially the football patches. Yeah, I didn't get that, the eye masks, but overall, I thought her look was really, really great. I thought of the 4 safe people, I thought her look was the best of the 4 safe people.
Better than Bosco's?
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
I love Bosco's look.
I'm with you, Joe. But I do think she was just safe in my mind. I didn't think it was
Yeah.
awful.
I didn't think she was
think that it
bottom,
great.
but yeah.
Just like safe for sure.
Maddie. Okay, Willow.
I knew Maddie was in the bottom. I was like, this
Maddie.
is trash.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Maddie.
You can't sell this. No one can sell this outfit.
Oh, Maddie.
Okay, again, we always love to give props of where we're correct and where we touch on things that later like come up to be true. Two things. Speaking of Maddie, one, again, in the workroom, Rue was like, you need to feel it downstairs. Like we need more sex from you, more sex appeal, more va-va-voom, right? Like, you know, is your pussy on fire, right? We need more of that. And she still didn't get it.
She don't know what that means.
That's
not her language. She don't get it.
With like aprons, she could have done a lot of things, you know, and I think she could have made like a square dance kind of look work, but it didn't. It was
it was
it needed to be shorter and like had more volume.
It needed to be burned in effigy. That's what it needed. It needed fire.
No,
fire.
Wherever they're burning bucks,
as a matter of fact, I don't even think that dress would have burned. I think it just would have laughed at the fire, like, you cannot destroy me. It was oh my god. Can we
wait, you know it's bad when your blow-up doll is looking better than you. Daddy Morphosis.
And the thing is, the blow-up doll didn't even match what she was doing.
It tried. It would. Can we just not?
Wait. Well, and the thing is like, I think that having that blow up doll was her way of sexing it up.
I can't.
If you're doing square dance with the blow up doll, then on stage, like give
Chad
us.
Said that. I feel like we spent too much time on that dress. Willow. Willow.
I loved Willow.
I like the concept.
I love the concept. I love the okay. I'm going to say this carefully because I know that in this instance it is a contradictory statement. But I loved the attention to detail. And the details that I am talking about is how her makeup was pink and her hair was striped pink. And there were some of the fingers were pink and the tips of the shoes were pink. Like those sort of details, right? Like she doesn't miss those sort of details. The other details that she did miss, and she discussed in Untucked, you know, the finishing of the outfit, making sure that the lines were straight and not ridged, like that sort of thing. I got that. But I like that creativity, that uniqueness, that sense that Willow brings,
that talent.
Yes, that idea that Willow is going to always be unique and always bring something different that no one else is bringing. Kudos, because it was unexpected.
I would 100% watch the Pixar short of that monster movie.
100%. I would be watching with popcorn.
Yeah.
And Willow, you can also call the show and we can watch your monster cartoon together.
It'll be a Willow monster movie.
Yes. A Willow monster.
Oh my God.
Bosco.
I loved it.
I loved it too.
I think loved it.
You didn't. I see, again, though, I just love people for these kind of challenges. And I was the same when I watched Project Runway a long time ago, where it's like you use unusual materials. She didn't say what that top breastplate was made out of.
She didn't.
Like a sled or something.
It looked like a serving tray or something to me.
Yeah, and I love those pants. I love those culottes made out of tarp. I do think
laundry bag realness.
The hard thing with tarp is that it's gonna look wrinkled, you know, and can't do much about that. But I thought it was really creative and really strong, and very different than everybody else's looks.
Yeah, I liked it because it was different. I liked it because you could tell she used unconventional materials and she made them wearable.
Yeah.
And it was a nice silhouette. And so out of all of them, it just seemed like, okay, this is from this challenge. This looks good from this challenge. She challenged herself. She did it well. And I like seeing that too. I'm not saying it's a top look, but I would say I would appreciate that more than the next person we'll be talking about.
Deja.
Anyway,
that's my next one.
Unpopular opinion. That dress was beautiful. I loved it.
I couldn't tell.
I loved the moment she turned the corner. I looked and I was like, oh my God, the dress is beautiful. When she started walking, the way it flowed, the way it fit her body, it was gorgeous. Everything else was wrong. Everything else. I didn't like the hair. I didn't like the makeup. I didn't like all of those weird accessories on her shoulder and in her hair and in her hand. Everything else was wrong. But that dress was beautiful. I loved that dress.
Well, that's where I don't know if I saw the dress. I just saw everything else around it.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed out on the dress.
If you know how to construct and really make a nice garment, the last thing that you want to do is do a bunch of other shit that makes people not look at it.
Right. And that's where the fail came in.
It's styling.
Yeah.
Styling.
And that's where the fail came in. She knows how to make. She doesn't know how to style. And Jerry is back. I mean, oh my God.
Never left.
Well, I mean, last week was lopsided titties. I mean, she still was in the top, which is crazy. She was still in the top, even though that dress fit so bad. Like, she's that good that a dress
wasn't a sewing challenge last week.
But still, like, that's worse because you brought that, right? Like, you brought this ill-fitting dress and you were still in the top. That's how good she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, that blows my mind. And like, she's right. She's back. Like that.
So expensive.
Didn't she?
Look expensive.
I was like, oh no, Angeria done won again.
She gets the fan this week because she made me hot. The fact that those were blinds, the fact that the dress was made of a non-stretch curtain, like Taraji said, the champagne is burnt. Right? Like, oh my God, it was so good.
Come on, Dynasty, right?
Yes.
Dynasty? Yeah, Dynasty, yeah.
It was delicious. Like, I just wanted to put her in a cup and drink her. Or pour her all over my body.
Incredible.
Paris Van Michael.
Yes. All right. Unpopular opinion. Georges.
So you must have liked Georges.
I loved it. I loved it.
I liked it too.
She looked amazing.
The moment they said Beyonce would wear this, I was like, Beyonce would wear this.
Yeah, it was amazing. She looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
When she turned that corner, the fit was right. The color palette was right. The cut was right. The styling was right. The accessories were right. Everything about that outfit.
The choreo was right.
The shoes were right. The hair was right. The makeup was right. She nailed every single dimension. Every single dimension. And she walked that runway like they built it just for her and they were tearing it down after she left.
Yeah.
Like,
and selling it on eBay.
Yeah, it was just right. It was just right.
This is where I've kind of like changed my opinion a little bit on things, and watching it again this morning helped me kind of solidify how I really felt about it. Right? It's not always about like how much like fabric or how much work people put into it. Yeah. It's about how it looks and how it's presented too.
Sure.
You know? You can have a filet mignon with all the drippings, but if you put it and give it to me on a trash can lid, I ain't eating that.
Right.
I don't care. Yeah. You know? So it's all about that. And she has a great way of presenting it. I wouldn't say I was shocked about the win, but I thought it was a top look for sure.
Yeah, I just think if like when she was literally standing next to Angeria, I just thought Angeria was better. In my mind, the more impressive construction and
Agree.
use of the challenge, I guess, and meeting the challenge.
Let's talk about Carrie and then go back to Georgis's win in a sec so we can do like a comparison of the top 3. Carrie's outfit did not translate on the runway stage to me. The stage lights give the television something different than what the judges see. And often I don't see all the details until we are in Untucked when they're under different lighting, because on the runway, I hated Carrie's dress. I thought it was really bad. I thought it was really unappealing. But when she got into Untucked and I could see the details in the color palette, I was like, oh, it's definitely not bottom, but it like she deserved to be safe.
Yeah.
Right. And in either way, I thought she deserved to be safe because I thought the outfit was avant-garde, right? It was Lee Bowery, it was fashion.
Yeah.
But it wasn't super elevated, you know, it was good. From here up, oh my God. The makeup, the neck piece, the hair. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I can't. Oh my God. She was so stunning. She's got to be one of the most stunning queens that has been on. Like,
I think she is the most stunning queen to ever be on the show.
When like that makeup and that wig, I'm like, I don't even care what you have on. Like, I just can't. Like, my eyes keep going to you. And
last week I cared. There's not enough beauty in the world that
horrible flower outfit, whatever. Right. Oh my God! Please stop. Do not remind me of that outfit.
Yeah,
let's stay in this fantasy.
I love Carrie, but she's had moments.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? I like the outfit. And I knew she was safe immediately. There was nothing I was gagging over. I thought she did really good for someone who doesn't sew.
Yeah.
And she presented it well. That walk, baby. That walk. Oh, I just want her just lean back a little bit. Just do something, because she got a high booty and she walked like she got one, like just stomp it down the runway.
She's also pigeon-toed.
She's
deeply pigeon-toed, so that hurts her. But for some reason, when she walked in that J-Lo dress, her walk was perfect.
Right. I just remember her gliding.
Yes, it was perfect. She knew exactly what to do in that dress. And it's so weird that she doesn't walk that way all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it definitely depends on how she feels in a dress, or how expensive she feels, or how expensive the dress is, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know that we need to. I mean, if you want to talk more about Georgis's win, like
in terms of Georges Gate, I think the other thing that bothers me.
Is it getting a gate?
Georges Gate. And Rue touched on this too in the workroom, was like, I'd love to see you dance in it. I almost want to put you in the bottom because I love your lip sync so much. So even if she does land, and we talked about this before, but even if she does land in the bottom, she already is at like 50% where everybody is at 0. So you have to, someone's going to have to or it's going to be a slow song or something weird like that. But they love her so much. They love to see her move. They just love her. They have such a soft spot for her.
And honestly, I like that she's a little humble.
Yeah, but she is that good though.
Yeah, she is a good performer. So here's where Georges is going to have it, and I'm just like salivating to get this just over with, is the acting challenge, which is coming next week.
Yeah.
Will be Snatch Game, which will likely come the week after. So I'm like, there's gonna be a big turning point for Georges. And I feel like this was probably the only competition she was gonna the only challenge she was gonna have a win, because it's gonna be a rough road, baby.
But even if she's in the bottom, I think she's still cruising. Like with the lips, it's really gonna take
with Jasmine Kennedy though, because let me tell you, baby, I was like, okay, Jasmine.
Yeah. So can we get into the Maddie? Can we get into the disaster that was Maddie versus Jasmine in that lip sync? Poor Maddie.
There have been many a queen that can lean into the comedy for the lip sync. Like, they know they're not dancers. They know, and they have done it in a way that I am watching and I am laughing. Like that has been a historical thing. But this was not that.
No. And Maddie, you sent home June.
No, you didn't send
June sent home herself.
Thank you.
You were just on the reciprocating end.
You were on the stage when June gave the lip sync away. That's what happened. You and that false confidence that you had in Untouched,
what the fuck was that?
Honey, that was so undeserved. You did not win that lip sync. June gave up.
He was psyching himself up, and then he just kept rambling, and I was just like,
no.
And then Jasmine was like,
no.
A moment, have it.
No. Here is straight man audacity. Here is where that whole thing went wrong from the start. Okay, yes, because in Chad and I, another straight white man, my husband, Chad and I.
Wait a minute, like those things don't make sense.
We all know that Chad is a straight man trapped in a gay relationship. We were having a discussion, and Chad's like, I don't understand. And I said, Chad, what he said was so dismissive of Jasmine's talent and ability. Yeah. And it didn't register until he saw how upset he made Jasmine. And then he tried to back out of it. And on his way backing out of it, it only got worse because then he felt challenged. So then he had to try to circle back and defend his ability while simultaneously attempting to backtrack out of the statement that was dismissive of Jasmine's talent. And by then it was too late because he had already unleashed the beast.
Yeah. And I mean, Maddie, come on now. That is just defeat. As you see how that bitch move. You see,
but he wasn't. They didn't come on the same entrant on the same show, so he never got to see her perform.
It don't matter.
But know your strengths, and he
know your strengths.
But straight man audacity, right? Like
because he kept saying like he knew, like he was gonna win. I'm not going home tonight. I was like, true, you may not go home, but you gonna be out this competition.
Honey,
you may not be going home to Arkansas.
When he said, I hope you give the second best lip sync of the night. Applause. When I tell you that is going to be a statement that goes down in Drag Race history, we will be hearing Queen say that throughout the rest of the series of this show. Yeah. I hope you give the second best lip sync of the night. That was gold. That was gold.
Yeah.
However, Joe, I do agree that This Is Your Moment, Have It will also be one of those things that
she got up and she was like, have it. Come on, this is your moment.
This is your moment. Have it.
Because she was like, I'm going to get ready for this lip sync. I suggest you do the same.
Honey, when I tell you that wasn't even close.
No,
like
it wasn't.
Everybody knew that already.
And like you said, Kel.
For Maddie.
Yeah, like you said, Kel, it was just one of those things where sometimes comedy works and sometimes you just got to know when to fold it.
When to fold them. I think
Sugar Mama, I mean, that's a sexy ass song.
Mm-hmm.
And
again, sex appeal.
Exactly. And Maddie, the judges asked you to sex it up. Yep. So you gonna do comedy for a sexy song. Got it. Makes sense. You got it, boo.
And also be prepared, as in take off that heavy ass skirt. Like have something underneath, That's what a seasoned queen that was like, I'm gonna be prepared to dance and work my ass off would have done immediately.
You don't know how to dance though. You don't know
I know. I think the other thing, if I had to guess, if I'm being a psychologist, an armchair psychologist, is that there is also that rural versus city, and I think that pushed Maddie's buttons about like, you think you're better than me because you're from New York City and I'm just some like person from Podunk, Arkansas that you don't think is a threat to you, or that you don't think is important or as good that I'm not enough. Like I'm not good enough because I'm from Arkansas. Yeah. And you could see that part like really got to her. And then it was like, then she was mad. Then she was mad.
But because I was like, where did that even come from? I didn't hear Jasmine say that.
She did. And here's the deal. I can't say that I got the sense that she was saying I perform in New York City, i.e. I'm better than you, or so much as she was just saying, like, do you know how hard it is to be a consistent performer in New York City? And I get to perform there every night. That's a feat. And it is, because New York City is flooded with drag queens. You can throw a quarter and hit a drag queen anywhere in New York City. So any person in New York City who is not already a Rue girl and has a consistent gig, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, and even outside of New York City, just basically saying I perform the house down every night.
Right.
Period.
I have a consistent gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Like a lot of drag queens do not have consistent gigs. They do not get to perform every day. This is not their bread and butter. So
like Maddie.
Yeah, obviously.
But Maddie's insecurity heard it as I'm from New York City, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I will say that the way Maddie came at Jasmine got me thinking a different type of way about Jasmine, because Jasmine said, this is what I do. And she finally said something and did it. She said, I'm going to eat, and she did it. Yeah. The sewing challenges, not so much.
She said, well, the first sewing challenge, she did good.
She finally said something and actually did it. Okay.
She did good in that first sewing challenge. I don't care what you think, Joe.
Hey, it's not what I think. It's what the judges think.
She was safe.
Exactly. She didn't eat it.
She was safe.
She didn't eat it.
I say that's 2 weeks in a row where it's just like, well, this lip sync is the most lopsided it could be.
So I think it's time to move on to the con do's and the con don'ts of the day.
Well, I'm going to go first with my can do because it follows along with what we were just talking about with Untucked. And even rewatching it again today, I loved it even more. I was cackling out loud at everybody wearing those big eyeballs. So they would be like, fight. And then the camera would pan and it was just like Bosco in those giant glasses. And then it was like more fighting. And then when Carrie had them on, and it made me laugh. I mean, just like with, who was it? Widow Von Du. Was it Widow Von Du that had the amazing reactions every time things were dramatic? And she was
she would just be sipping her.
Yes.
I love that one. And I think most of the queens this time were doing that, where they're just like have this look on their face that's like, oh, honey, like this is getting good. And they're kind of just
a good fight though.
It was good. Yeah. So the reactions were already amazing, but then you added those googly eyes and I was dead. That was amazing. So at least Daya's googly eyes came in handy.
They did something. Joe.
My can-do, I guess, would be actually listening to the judges. So kudos to Lady Camden. I liked you from the very beginning, and you have not proven me wrong. Thank you, bitch.
She's so cute. I love Lady Camden. Cute.
My can-do actually does not come from the episode, but also from Untucked. And it was Taraji coming in the back and really talking with them and giving them some real advice about life and show business. Yep. And the fact that everything I believe about her just looked to be true in that moment, like the authenticity, the realness, the fact that whenever you meet her, you're getting the real her. I felt like that was so fantastic. So my can-do was Taraji coming in the back in those boots Oh my God, those boots.
And that outfit was sickening. She
Oh,
looked
the boots.
beautiful.
Oh God. The hair, like it was Taraji. My Kundu was just Taraji.
Yeah, one of my other favorite moments when she at the end of that was just kind of like, and the people that did go to that school. Like, enough said. I don't even have to finish that sentence.
We don't know their names.
No.
Right.
Don't be a bitter Betty. Diabetti.
Mm-hmm.
My condone goes back to Willow. Two things, and I'll reiterate what we said earlier. Condone not ask for help when you need it, Willow. And people, and for the other queens, especially Angeria and Carrie, who definitely know, be kind enough to just remember for a moment, step outside of the competition and go, hey, I remember, do you need a little assistance with your hands? That's it. Like, Willow, stop being too strong to ask for help, and other queens, stop being so caught up in the competition that you forget to be a good person.
One condone that shouldn't even need to be said is don't be mean to your kids if they're more effeminate or or no matter who they are, to walk out of a room when your child enters or like treat them in some sort of way like that will always be the worst of the worst and so unacceptable.
That was disgusting.
Disgusting.
Hearing that story.
It's just like, it's a lot of people's stories, and it also at the same time that it like makes me sick, there's the flip side of it that just makes me so proud, because it's like, look, through all of that, you went through like that horrible like situation, and yet here you are, you're so strong, you know, like you're so passionate and like hilarious and amazing, you know, and it's a lot of
and loving.
Yes. You're rippling out what you didn't get, and that 180 to take something horrible and just be like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go live my life and I'm still gonna put some good out there, is mad props. And that's a lot of the Queen's story, you know, I would imagine, and we've heard it throughout the seasons, right?
Well, I think we covered it. Anything else, peeps?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think. I'm
excited for next week. I love a good acting challenge. Hopefully it's good.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Carrie can bring her amazing personality that she gives to the producers to the camera.
Right. That will be so good.
I'm looking for Lady, Camden, Carrie, and Deja, honestly, to step forward. If they don't, they're going to be in some trouble.
Yep.
It's time for them to step up or fall off. I actually don't think Lady Camden is going to fall off. I see Lady Camden in the top 4.
Same.
I just
need to win.
Yeah. I you know, there was a point where I thought where I would think that people need wins on this show, but what they have shown me in the since season 8 basically is it doesn't matter how many challenges you win. No. It doesn't.
But you made the good point earlier, T, is that, and I didn't think about it like this, but every week the middle gets smaller and smaller. So, and there's a point in the season when it's like, if you're not top, you're bottom. So you gotta like move yourself up somehow, or you're gonna get to that point and not be where you want to be.
Thank you once again for joining us for Condone Yourself. Please be sure to tune in next week where we will be discussing RuPaul's Drag Race Season 14, episode number 7. Cannot wait. Hopefully we'll get more drama, more excitement, and more acting. It'll be fun. So tune in, join us, leave comments, and feel free to email us and call into the show at Condone Yourself because we want to hear from you. Thanks. Ooh,
Joe, the slow roll.
I got the slow roll. Look at that.
The double pop.
Oh Okay. Okay.
It looks so manic. It's so manic.
It is.
It also makes you look like you're not a good dancer at all, which is the other hilarious
It was
part.
very Maddie-esque.
I'm stopping now.
It's the only dance move I'm gonna do from now on.